All right, so we're live. So hello, everyone. It's me, Kajaya, again, and I am joined by two fellow astrologers who are my favorite, Carolyn and Susan, for this great topic that I really wanted to do. Everyone say hey.
Hello.
Hey. Hi from Australia.
Yeah, she's in Australia. What time is it over there?
It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this video is basically something that I wanted to do for a while, and it's, sort of give a deeper look into Scorpio risings, because when I first, got into the YouTube world and looked at a bunch of videos and how people describe Scorpio rising, I just felt like we were really misrepresented. And that, they just painted us as these really secretive, manipulative people, and I'm like, we're not like that at all. Do you have something to add, Carolyn?
I'm sorry. Do you guys hear that?
No. No, I didn't hear anything.
Did something go wrong?
It must have been me. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. It was playing back from the beginning. Oh God, I'm so pissed off. I missed your whole intro.
Oh,
yeah.
It's recorded, so you can watch it.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry to mess the flow up. But yeah, I kind of agree with that, Kajaya. When I was on YouTube looking for Scorpio rising videos, some of them are
pretty
somewhat
brutal.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it is hard to understand Scorpio rising unless you are one, which is why I'm excited about this.
Yes, because I was like, you can really, especially with this energy, the energy of Scorpio and having a Scorpio rising, you really can't, go off from reading a book. The best way to get information on a rising sign is from people who have it, and that's why I really wanted to do this video. So at first, I was going to just write down my own personal experience, as a Scorpio rising, but then I thought wouldn't it be great if I just asked people what they wanted to know? What were they curious about? So I have some great questions that I'm going to ask you. I'm going to answer them. So are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Yes, very.
All right. They're in no order. Some of them are a little deep, and some of them are just like lighthearted and laughy. How old were you when you expected that everyone either loved you or hated you?
That was something that I didn't really expect, and I think that happens with Scorpios risings a lot, is they don't know really they get confused. We get confused about why people have such visceral reactions to us, either positive or negative. I don't know. That was once I got into astrology, to be honest. So that was maybe 5 years ago.
For me, it was definitely middle school, because it's like you find that people just become obsessed with you either for a good reason or a bad reason. It's like, what?
Especially because you're a Leo.
Even in a bad way, it's like, I think all Scorpio rising, we just get people who are obsessed with us for either a good reason or a bad reason. What do you think, Susan?
Yeah, look, what Caroline said, I think I was confused at first, especially when I was younger, and looking back, at the time I maybe didn't realize what was going on, but people would keep a distance from me, and I was like, I'm not going to hurt you.
I don't bite. So as far as age, I would say like 14 years old. That's for me.
As far as image, did you say?
When you...
Yeah, what age were you, when you expected that everyone either loved you or hated you?
Yeah. I thinking back, I noticed it pretty young, like in primary school. Well, we call it primary school in Australia, so that's before high school. I noticed it pretty young. People just, I didn't get really bullied as such. I sort of, some certain people just would say certain things, and I was just like, why are you saying that? And but I think when I was older in high school, I sort of made myself more on the outer and stuck with a certain group, more the artistic crowd, I guess, and the kids that were maybe not the mainstream kids, and I was kind of happy with that. So,
absolutely. When I was a little girl in elementary school and whatnot, I did get bullied very badly.
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer sun, so I feel like maybe I was an easy target or whatever, but it was, the kids are fucking mean, and and it stays with you, you know, but maybe that has something to do with my Scorpio rising, how people just wanted to put me down because they're intimidated, even at a young age, because the Scorpio energy has this, it's like a force field around you, you know?
Yeah. What I found is if you don't speak up and communicate with people, they seem to really create this story about you.
Mm-hmm.
I found that happened to me where I was in certain situations when I was older, and if I was shy or reserved, they took that the wrong way, as if I was plotting something, but I wasn't. I had situations like that where people would sort of label me as being manipulative in a situation when I was completely not. If anything, I was just very shy, very reserved, and I guess holding my personality close to my chest, and so they misinterpreted that as she's hiding something, you know.
No, yeah. Get the whole, well, why are you keeping secrets? It's like, I'm not keeping secrets. I'd say Scorpio risings, we're private people, and we don't just go around trusting everyone and telling everyone our business. So, you know, people take that as, well, you're holding secrets, you're holding back. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just...
Exactly.
You know, I'm private.
Right.
That's right.
And you know what? Something I've noticed is people really trust me, like, right away. They'll tell me all their business. Like, just the first conversation, I'm like, oh, I can't believe you're telling me all this stuff, like, in my head. But, I mean, it's just crazy. It draws out of people. And yet here we are.
Very this awkward moment. It's really awkward moment. Like, well, I hope you don't expect me to spill my guts to you, because it's not gonna happen. Like, when people start to do that, I just get this face like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, so true. I've had the same thing, exact same thing. So many times, strangers. I'll just chat to a stranger on the street, and next thing I know, they're telling me something really deep, and I'll be like, okay. And I'm open to listening because I've got an Aquarius moon. But then there's that same thing what you're saying, Kajaya. It's like, whoa, I don't really want to have this conversation anymore.
All right, so the next question is, what does a Scorpio rising need from others emotionally?
Well, I think we need honesty. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. You go, Kajaya.
No, go ahead. This is no order. Just when it hits you, shout it out.
Yeah, it just hit me. Like, we need honesty, don't we? Because we don't trust people because of what we've been through in our lives. We need people to be honest with us, and we can sense when people are not being honest straight away. So,
agreed. That's what I was gonna say. You took the words out of my mouth.
Honesty.
Oh, really?
Creating a space where we can just be open with each other, which is honesty, but just being open.
Yeah, definitely.
Does your intensity scare people away? Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I get told I'm too intense. You're too intense, and I'm like, I'm sorry, and I'll just try and tone it down for you right now. But with family members
all the time. Yeah.
Right, so what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, other people love it though, because a lot of people actually, it's refreshing to have someone that is intense and passionate and is real. Mm-hmm. So I think the intensity comes from a realness about the Scorpio rising. So totally agree.
I think select in my experience, select people like it. Not everybody likes it.
Exactly. It's just the love-hate thing, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Why are Scorpio rising such loners?
Good question.
Because we scare people.
We're forced to be alone. It's not that we decided. It's we're forced to be alone.
I would add to that, because we're actually quite complex psychologically, and we pick up on so much to do with other people. We need to regenerate ourselves, so we need that time away from all the intensity that we experience to just get our energy back to center.
Yeah, and just process things, really.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, look, I love just being in my own little space by myself. Like, I find enjoyment in that. It's like I'm a hermit. Like, Scorpio rising to be a hermit. It's like, look, I can have the best time just sitting on my bed, not doing anything, away from people, and I will experience the greatest joy.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's so true. And people really don't understand that very well, especially if you're dealing with people that are extroverts. They're like, that is weird. You are strange.
Mm-hmm. Or people that always need to have someone there with them.
Oh, I feel bad for those people.
Yes.
Yes, me
I'm
too.
like, don't you ever want to take time by yourself?
Right.
Exactly. And sometimes, like for me, I have to explain. I find myself explaining myself sometimes, you know, to make people feel better because I've got 7th house in my chart as well. So I'm like, look, don't take it personally. It's about me. I need that, you know. And it's so exhausting.
Like, look, just because I don't call you doesn't mean I don't think about you, or just because I'm not in constant communication with you, it doesn't mean I don't like you or that I don't think about you. It's just I go into my own little world and I'm happy there.
Right.
Sometimes I don't want to be bothered with anyone, and it has nothing to do with you. It has absolutely nothing to do with. I'm not mad, I'm not angry or upset. It's just I like being alone. I like it sounds strange telling that to someone, but Scorpio risings understand.
Well, yeah. I mean, I actually like being alone so much that it's almost like I have to make an effort to see my friends and like get out there and do things, and even just communicate because I listen. It's almost like that's my primary existence. Is just I love it. I love being alone. I've got my son in the 8th house. So it's almost work hanging out with other people, especially because of how much deep conversations will come out of nowhere and whatnot, which I absolutely love. Fuck the small talk, but
let's get right to the point here.
So true. That is so true.
Also, like you said, deep conversation. I find that a lot of people just worry about a lot of dumb on the surface level shit. It's just like I can't deal with that. I'm sorry, I don't find that interesting.
Exactly.
I don't care how big Kim Kardashian's butt is.
Thank you.
I hate reality TV. I don't even watch it anymore. It's like it's
YouTube. You watch YouTube, right? And
right,
you watch yourself.
Astrology.
I don't have a TV either. I actually don't. I refuse to have a television anymore. I haven't had one for about 3 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's just what comes out of that TV. I don't want that in my brain.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to
so
choose what goes into my brain.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing about Scorpio rising is we can see it when it's just pure trash. We're like, this is why is this? Why do people watch this?
I refuse to dumb myself down.
Yes,
I'm not going to insult myself by watching this.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, because we see through it. We see straight through it.
Right.
Don't we?
We do.
All right, so another one. Why don't Scorpio risings trust people?
Because people are liars. If people are manipulating us, then no, we don't trust you.
Right.
We're not stupid.
Right, it's like we see straight through the bullshit. Like if you're an honest, upfront person,
we trust you.
It's fine. It's fine. But so many people are walking around just handing out bullshit left and right, and it's like, come on now.
Yes.
Stop it.
Sometimes I've wondered to myself, and you guys can say, what you think as well, because it might sound a bit unusual, but sometimes I've thought there's a slight bit of naivety in Scorpio. Now, that's going to sound really weird because we're mostly more on the paranoid side of things, but there's sometimes, it's like, yes, we've been betrayed so many times and we kind of think, oh, maybe I should just trust a bit more. But then, like, as soon as you trust, it happens again. Have you found that? Or not?
I've been told I take people at face value because I'm the type of person, what you get is what you see. So even though I see through it, I sort of kind of want to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's it.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Giving people the benefit of the doubt, trying not to be so paranoid and go, just trying to look on the positive side of people. Yeah. But then it always turns out, I was right. You're really an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I won't say something every time I notice, that someone's on some bullshit. It only really matters to me. I'll just be like, I'll make a mental note, and just kind of move along. because most of my close friends I do trust, and I don't have very many, to be honest. I mean, very few, actually. So if it's just, like, you know, people at work or just random passerbys that I don't trust, I don't really care that much. I kind of just, it just is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I say Scorpio
That's
risings will have very few friends, but like millions of curious onlookers.
Yes! I love it.
All right, what's something Scorpio risings don't want anyone to know? Dun 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 dun.
I'm not telling you.
Well, I will say something. I will say we don't want people to know what we're really thinking at times. Because what we're really thinking is that we are seeing through the conversation, we are seeing through the facade, and we know what's going on in the deeper layers, so we don't want to talk about that right in front of people and expose them.
Exactly, yeah. Unless we do want to do that.
Well, unless we do, yes. But generally speaking,
embarrass them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's, yeah.
I would say for me,
sorry, go.
Not wanting to really show emotions. Because I've had some, like, the one thing that really stands out in my mind is, like, you know, when you leave high school and, like, your friends move off. Like, I had that one great friend, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to cry. Bye. It was so dry. I didn't want to say, oh, I'm going to miss you so much. Oh, don't leave. I was like,
yeah, no.
That must be the fire in your chart. Because for me, I am all about emotions because I'm a Cancer, so I can't help it. That is something I don't even try to hide.
You don't try to keep them down?
I can't help it. I make so many facial expressions. It is unbelievable. Like, when I'm watching my videos and, like, editing them and stuff, I laugh so hard at how many different facial expressions come across in 5 minutes. So yeah, that's useless for me.
Yeah, for me, I'm up on Aquarius moon, so I can hide my emotions pretty well, and I'm like you, Kajaya, like, in that sense, with situations with friends, I find it really hard to express that, you know, I feel the sincere emotions, but I find it really awkward to say.
Yeah, they can't get out.
No.
Or I'm not going to you're not going to see me cry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost like if you start, then it's going to be really ugly, so you just don't even want to go there. That's how I am.
Oh my God, yeah. Yep.
All right, so another thing. What do you love about being a Scorpio rising?
Everything.
Right.
I
You
do
have to
love being a
learn to
Scorpio
love it.
rising.
You have to learn to love it. Because when I first got into astrology, I was like, is there any way I could change this?
Mom?
Like, turn back the dial.
Yeah. I want to be born at a different time. Mom.
Yeah, it's something you got to grow into to love, but definitely everything. I like the seeing through situations.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say the same.
I like the
knowing
psychic
people's
power.
intentions and knowing when they're sincere and knowing when they're just full of shit.
Mm-hmm. It's like we aren't mind readers, but as close as humans can get, you know?
Hey,
well, sometimes,
there was a question.
Sometimes I do actually read thoughts, but yeah. That's
that was the thing. That was the question. Someone asked, what psychic power do you think Scorpio risings have? And I said telepathy. That was going to be my answer.
Telepathy.
Because I swear I can read minds. I'm not even going to deny it. Like, I swear I can read minds.
Yeah, I can too.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And it's not like it happens. It's not like hearing their thoughts. Like, I'll look at them and what they are thinking will appear in my mind. And I'll know it's not my thought. I'll know it's coming from them. So that happens, and I'm like, it's not something I can turn on and off because I haven't mastered it. But if I look at someone and their thoughts just appear right in my mind. So that's the psychic power I would give to Scorpio risings.
Yeah. I agree. Same.
Yes.
What do you hate about being a Scorpio rising? Everyone's thinking about it. This is a tough one.
I try not to hate.
I'll say it. Oh, sorry. You go, Caroline.
I was just going to say, I try not to hate anything about my chart or anyone else's chart. because it's really there's all good and bad, and it's kind of a cop-out, I guess. But I mean, it's just a difficult, it's hard to, go through the chaos, the crisis, the major moments that just change everything, which happen often for us.
I was thinking the exact same thing, what you said about that crisis. Yeah, it's exhausting at times. It's exhausting.
To have to die and become the phoenix over and over and over. I say, you know what, I die about 3 times a year. This phoenix has gotten really old. I'm about to die and be reborn. So, yeah, that's, the crisis, the constant ups and downs, and having to learn a lesson from it.
Yes. But that's also what I love so much about being a Scorpio rising.
Yeah. Right. The dying and the rebirth.
Like, are you guys afraid of death at all? I'm not afraid of death at all.
No. I'm like, you know what, if it happens...
You mean when?
Let it be quick.
Yeah.
That's so like your... Kajaya, that's so your Scorpio in the first decan talking there.
What?
Let it be quick.
Yeah, let it be quick. I don't want a long, painful, drawn-out death. Just... if I see it coming, at least it'll be over, in a quick second.
Yeah.
What degrees are all of your risings at?
Mine is at 6 point something, very early degree.
What was yours, Susan?
27.
29.
27. Oh, wow. We can jump each other.
Yes. I like you.
All right, so I heard your descendant attracts that sun sign. Do you attract Taurus?
Oh my God, yes, actually.
Me too, and it never works out.
I don't attract Taurus like in a romantic way, but as far as friends are concerned, yes. Oh my gosh. Especially when I was in college, I was shocked. All of my friends were Taurus people, and I had 4 friends that were born May 4th, May 5th, May 6th, May 7th, and we were all friends.
Oh wow.
So it was, yeah.
I'm actually a Taurus myself, so I don't attract Taurus. But I do attract Cancerians and Aries people, and Geminis. So yeah. But actually, my partner's got a Taurus moon, so that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. I attract more Taurus moon than Taurus sun sign, and my really good friend has a Taurus rising, so I would say more Taurus moons have been in my life than a Taurus sun sign.
See, I've been the other way with more suns than moons. Although I do love Taurus moons, people.
I think we already answered this one, but is it really either people like you or hate you? No in between?
It would
I think that. No, is it for us? Is it really either people like you either like people or you don't like them? No in between.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's never an in between. Never an in between.
I think so. I think I have to say, it's either like for me, it's either really, really like or just not interested. Right. It's more like a disinterest sort of thing, like.
Not a hate. Exactly.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I don't hate people. Yeah.
And I think that's why Scorpio risings get a bad rep because we never try to fit in. We're not. No. If we don't, if we have a disinterest, we're not gonna smile in your face and try to be your friend. We'll go on about our own business, and I think so many people do that. They look at us like, well, what's wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
You not like me? It's like, no, I don't dislike you. I just
don't care. Sorry.
Yeah. You don't interest me. So, I'm gonna go my own way. I'm not gonna bother you. But it's like so much drama has been started over this. Like, look, I don't dislike you. I don't even know you. But I'm just doing my own thing. You don't interest me enough. Not to say that there's anything wrong with you, but yeah.
No.
Not interested.
I know.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a good one. Do you suffer from ridiculous levels of guilt when you even slightly hurt someone?
No.
Yes.
Because I don't hurt people unless they deserve it. And I don't hurt people physically, but I can tear you apart if need be. But I will never, ever go there unless I've been forced, basically.
I'm the same. I'm the same, Caroline. But even if I, out of defending myself, do inadvertently hurt someone with a verbal thing, I feel so guilty, even if what I've said is not even that bad. They might have said way worse to me. I'm really sensitive like that. I can't stand hurting anybody at all. And if I think that I have, yeah, it's bad, the guilt factor. But I'm like you, I don't try to hurt anyone. I try to avoid it.
I have to agree with Carolyn. I always say, look, my anger is justified because, you know, I'll give you so many times before I go, all right, you know what? I think I have to take you out now. I have to say something to you.
And once I go there, I like have complete confidence in my ability to win. You know,
because we've already analyzed them down. We've already picked up on all their weaknesses. So it's like we pushed the self-destruct button. It's like, bam. What's up now?
We just like, look, you learned your lesson. It's always about teaching someone a lesson, really.
That is true. That is so true. Like, I mean, I've had situations where I felt like that's what I was doing by, you know, cutting people out of my life, where I've had to do that. And I've tried to be as diplomatic as possible, but I've definitely pointed out their weaknesses to them based on what Kajai was saying, where I've given them so many chances, and they just, because we've had a deep connection or whatever, or we've had a lot in common, felt that deep connection with them, but then it was like, you know what, you've pushed it too far, you've crossed the line, bye-bye.
Here's a list of things where you fuck up at. Trust me, it's wrong.
That would be a Virgo with a Scorpio rising.
Hey, but you have Virgo energy too, right?
Yes,
and I have it, so it's double. It's like, look, I will press
yes, exactly.
Every little and get every single detail. I will leave you speechless.
I'll leave you crying.
Well, let's just talk about hurting people's feelings.
Right? Well, just don't go there. Like, don't give us a reason to. And I seriously, I never ever. I'm not easy to piss off, really. I mean, I get pissed off a lot, but at specific people, it doesn't happen that often. Just because, maybe because people know not to fuck with me, but.
That's good. Yeah. I think I'm too nice sometimes, you know, because I've got a lot of Taurus in my chart, and then I've got Sun and Mercury in the 7th house, so that, you know, brings me wanting to be diplomatic and just...
Yeah. See, my Sun's in the 8th house, so...
Yes, that's very different, yeah.
And mine's in the 10th, so... Sometimes it can be diplomatic, and then it's sometimes like, you know what?
Depends on if it will help your career.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's your boss, you might tone it down a bit.
Just throw an evil look at them.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, you do not want to get the death stare from me.
I say I perfected that shit.
Yes.
I will stare you down.
Yes. I love my Scorpio rising.
Right.
That's funny.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, I've been accused of doing the death stare, and I don't even know I'm doing it. When someone's pissed me off in the moment, someone said, you gave that woman the worst death stare. I said, yeah, I was pissed off, but I didn't know I was really giving her that intense look, but apparently I was.
I'm sure we all get, why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah. And also another thing is, if we're not smiling, we can look really scary, I think. If we're just serious.
Like a blank face. It's like, why are you so mad? It's like, actually, I'm very happy. I'm quite joyous in the moment. All right, so another question. It seems as though Scorpio risings have very astute speaking skills. From those that I have known myself, would any Scorpio rising say it's similar for them? And this is kind of odd for me, because people say, oh, God, you're so articulate. And I'm like, I say a lot of dumb shit. It's like I don't try, but you know, have any of you had that? Like people tell you, "Oh gosh, you're so articulate."
Yeah, I've been called that. Yeah.
Me too. Yes, I have.
And I go, really? Do you hear what I say? Do you hear what comes out of my mouth? I guess it's just me.
Yeah, no, I've been told that.
All right, now for my favorite question. This is the one everyone wants to know. Why do Scorpio risings like to wear black?
I've got my black lace.
I've got my black on.
You're all decked out in black. Now, one guy gave a very deep, like, answer. He's, because black is mysterious. It's unknown, it's unusual, it's hidden. So, we like to put that on us, to sort of create that effect. But mine is, I like black because it's very sleek. It's very stylish. I like that whole I'm going to a funeral look. It's something very sexy about it.
I do look like I'm going to a funeral, like, all the time. I seriously always wear black. I love black. I love wearing black. I love black cars. I have a black cat. Like, I love black. It is the mystery, maybe, but it also is just, it looks professional. It looks
classy.
Yes, classy, sleek.
I think all Scorpio risings just look great in black. It's something so sexy about it, and we wear it really well.
Amen.
Yeah, and for me, I don't find it's that conscious. Like, I've even tried to get away from so much black, but I just can't. I keep gravitating towards it. Do you guys find that?
Yeah.
Last spring, I had to make a conscious decision to start trying to brighten up my closet. And what happened was I hated wearing all of my bright clothes and my colorful clothes. Yeah. I don't know why. I definitely like black.
Everything that I have has some black in it. Everything.
Yeah.
Even if it has colors on the shirt, it's some black. Majority of the shirt is black with a few splashes of colors in it. I can't just
or like a pop of color. Exactly. I love to wear black with a pop of color if I'm feeling, funky or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's a good
feeling.
one.
I think if we're. Oh, sorry, you're going.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if we're feeling like we don't want to feel exposed, we're definitely going to stick with the black. If we're feeling a bit more light, then a bit of colour.
Yes.
A splash, but not too much. All right, do Scorpio risings get along with people who have strong Pluto in their chart?
Yes.
I would say so, yeah. Because it's like a mutual respect we have for each other.
Amen. Yes.
Yeah. Like an instant understanding. Is there?
Or people with like an 8th house stellium, or even just other people that have sun in the 8th.
My really best friend, who I said was a Taurus rising, she's a Capricorn, but she has Mars, Venus, and Mercury in her 8th house. So she has a lot of 8th house energy, so that's where we, connect on things.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, here's one from Crystal Lynn. She asks this. What sign is most mysterious to you, hardest to figure out? And that's a good one. Like, what sign is most mysterious for us and hard to figure out?
For me, I'd say Aquarius rising.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Aquarius might be my answer too, actually.
It's a very difficult energy to sort of figure out.
It is hard to understand Aquarius energy because I only have Saturn in Aquarius, but I mean, I love Aquarius energy, but it's true. I mean, I don't know what's going on inside that head. What do you think, Susan? You've got the Aquarius moon.
Yes, I do. I know. I think I'm hard to read. I really am. But I've had a friend for years with Aquarius rising, and I'm just such a hard person to understand and to know what they're really thinking. And also, one of my sisters has Aquarius rising, and she's very hard to sort of. I get along with her great, but you just don't know what she's thinking a lot.
My younger sister has an Aquarius rising, but my older sister, she's a Gemini with an Aquarius moon. Try to figure that out.
Wow, because I was going to say Gemini was going to be my other answer.
Yes.
She's a Gemini with an Aquarius moon, and I just look at her like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, try to figure that out. I grew up in the same house with this girl. Born and raised right with her.
Huh. My sister is a Cancer with a Scorpio rising, too. How boring is that? What the hell?
That's intense.
It is.
Both you guys get along? You get along?
Oh, yeah, we really do. But, I mean, like, when we're home together, we'll bicker sometimes. But we love being sisters. It's just the two of us. What's interesting is her moon is in Aries, and my moon is in Libra.
Oh, that falls on your descendant, right?
Yes.
Must be interesting.
Well, no, it's not on my descendant.
No, I mean,
But
like,
it is opposite.
signs the
Yeah.
way. It's the
Yep,
opposite
it's
sign.
opposite. Yeah, so that is very. I think that's where the battles come in when we're together at home and whatnot, like eating dinner. We'll just have little fights, but in general, no, we get along great. We're both emotional. We both have a very similar, view on friendships, kind of.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question. What is the worst thing you can do to a Scorpio rising as a friend on accident that would make them unlove you, and what keeps them loving you? Well, you see, the thing is, Scorpio risings don't believe in people make accidents.
Right, I was
when
gonna
it comes
say.
to hurting our feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
You knew what you were fucking doing. You knew it. You knew exactly what you were doing. So there's no accident when it comes to hurting our feelings. There's no accident.
Right. Well, exactly. And like if one of my friends did accidentally hurt me, first of all, the only thing that really hurts me is if you lie to me or if you like insult me. So if they accidentally insulted me, which I feel that a lot because I'm a Cancer, so I take everything personally. I basically just move on because I know it's probably me being too sensitive. But if someone lies to me, betrays me, is talking shit about me, I will know that is not an accident. It is their intention that's what matters to me. So
yeah. For me, it's any form of betrayal. Like, if it's the intention of betrayal, or if, as you said, Caroline, an insult, I would never do that to anyone that I considered a friend. So I hold, the standards that I hold for myself, I hold for other people.
Yes.
In that sense.
And Scorpio rising are so paranoid that, nothing, like I said, nothing is an accident. It's like you planned that. You knew exactly what you were doing. You were conscious of it. So I'm going to hold you accountable for this. So,
yeah.
All right.
And I think the Scorpio, sorry, just quickly, the Scorpio heart can turn, the Scorpio rising heart, if you want to say it like that, even though it's not the heart, the mind can just go so cold, and just once someone has really betrayed, I just think we can just go so cold and just cut them off. Even if we give them answers before, if it goes past that point.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, someone asks, how to soften the intensity? I'd like my lighter side to come through. I would say... Oh.
Go ahead.
I would say for me, how I sort of, like, lighten that intensity... Well, first I'm a Leo and I have an Aries moon, so I have that to sort of help me out, but I would say me sort of taking control of this Scorpio rising energy and not letting it take control of me, working with it and sort of taking control of the energy, not really being afraid of it and not letting it take control of me, working with it. So that allowed my lighter side to come through, because when I was a kid, oh my god, it just fucking swallowed me. But the older I got, it was like... That's what I would say, how to, soften the intensity. Just take control of it.
Don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same. Like, having a sense of humor is so important, and I have to remind myself. And my partner is a double Sagittarius, so he helps me out with that.
Oh, you're good then. Yeah.
He makes me laugh.
Lighter, happier, bouncier side.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, so the questions are over. Those are all the questions I have. Do you guys want to add something before I get to, advice to parents and advice to young Scorpio risings?
No.
No, I think I like these questions. I really like this style, Kajaya. Good job.
Well, thank you. All right, so what advice would you give to a parent that basically gave birth to a Scorpio rising child? One person said, teach them to handle emotions, especially anger. That's a big one. Patience and complete understanding. One person said, tell them everything. But we already know. We already know everything, though.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
See, I don't like people telling me things. I need to figure it out myself. Like, if you tell me things, then I will go and research it just to double check, you know. But maybe that's just me. But
no, I do that too. I do that too. And it's like if they tell you something, it just opens up a can of worms, and you just kind of have to start delving more.
Yeah, it spirals out of control. It's like a snowball effect. It's like, well, why this? Well, why that?
And I wouldn't want my mom telling me everything, to be honest, when I'm a kid. I definitely am glad she didn't tell me everything.
No.
I think the main thing is just love. Just love them. Let them know how much they are loved. Communicate it to them, express love towards them, and they will grow into a powerful Scorpio rising, not a paranoid one.
Yeah.
This one lady wrote this.
That's good.
You were going to say something?
I was just saying what Caroline said was good.
Yeah.
That's all.
This one lady said, I would tell them this child is intuitive, honor their gifts, and teach them to do the same. This child can be immensely capable of great healing and causing great pain. And you must show them how to channel this energy, which will often overwhelm them, and be accepted that your child will always be intense in most cases, basically.
Yeah.
Except that your child is going to be intense in most everything that they do.
And love them for it. Just love them for their intensity.
And another thing I would say is the worst a parent can do, in my personal experience, is try to prepare the child for the darkness of the world and say, oh, be careful of this, be careful of that, there's these crazy people out there, because all it does is make us ultra paranoid. That's what my experience of childhood was a very paranoid, father, basically, who was always trying to warn us, but I already instinctively knew all those things, even as a young child. I didn't even need to be warned. But yet him saying it somehow made it more, made the world seem scarier for me. So
exactly.
It made me more paranoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
This one is going to be so long. Advice you would give to a young Scorpio rising that, maybe that are in middle school or going into high school, getting into astrology and discover, oh, God, I have a Scorpio rising. What advice would you give to them? First of all, people are going to stare at you.
Yeah.
People are going to stare at you. And
they are.
Because growing up, I was like, I think someone's staring at me. And then, I would say to myself, oh, don't be paranoid, don't be paranoid. They're not staring at you. And I'd look again, I'm like, no, they're fucking staring at me.
See, I mean, when someone stares at me, I stare back. And I'll keep eye contact with you until you break it first. So, I mean, that's kind of how it works. Advice depends on the situation that you need advice for. But in general, just embrace your psychic abilities, embrace your healing abilities. Try to help transform people, or if one of your friends is going through a hard time. Scorpio risings have the ability to really see what's going on and help them learn a lesson from it.
Yeah.
That's our gift.
We're great therapists. It's so crazy. Like, a Scorpio rising at any age, even a young age, will have adults coming to them for advice. That was my life. I'm like, you're like 40 years old, but I'm giving you advice, and you're calling me for advice.
Because people trust us so much. It's like we were talking about at the beginning, how people just come to us and spill their guts.
Yeah.
And I think because we... go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think I would also say for a young child to try not to take everything so personally. I think that's,
Goes for Cancer, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say?
I don't know, even though I'm trying to use my telepathy here.
I was going to say something. It was about... Crap. What was I going to say?
Was it about when, because last thing you were talking about, Kajaya, was when people were staring at you, and you knew they were staring at you.
Carolyn jumped in. The advice. I think young Scorpio rising are great at giving advice, or even Scorpio rising in general are great at giving advice, because we go through so many ups and downs that we have to learn from, or we're going to repeat it. So when it comes to someone who's older, we're able to connect with them and give them advice because we've paid attention to our own shit, which most people don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I think we're great at giving advice, because we go through so many ups and downs, and we're so sensitive, but we have to learn not to be sensitive.
Yeah. Can I just go back to one of the other questions about a parent? Sorry, something really came to me, which is with the parent-child relationship. I think a really important thing is to foster trust with that child, because as a Scorpio rising becomes a teenager, if they don't trust their parent, you will have no idea as a parent what your child is going through, because they are naturally reserved. They're keeping it all inside. So I thought that was an important thing to add. Sorry, I'm going back, but yeah.
Hey, go back as far as you need to.
Great addition.
It's for all Scorpio rising, so if you need to backtrack, whatever advice, whatever little tidbit you can throw in, please throw it in.
I just felt that was really important, because most parents want to know what's going through their teenager's head. They don't want to be shut out, but they will be shut out if they don't foster trust with that child from a young age. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Here's one that I'm going to throw in. Do you guys ever feel that you really are close to anyone? Because I think that's difficult for a Scorpio rising, because we don't trust people, we don't open up to people, so that really, that doesn't build a connection. We don't build that connection with other people. And I've gone through my whole life. I like to say, you can know a Scorpio rising for 1,000,000 years, but you'll never get the full story. You will never really know them.
True.
Yeah, I think it's like layers of an onion. And you can peel back and peel back and peel back the layers, and it's like a wall after wall after wall in a sense. And I think, even with people that know us really well, like I've been with my partner for 17 years, and even he knows that there's still that part of me he cannot access. And I don't mean to do that, but that's just me.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, oh, I know you. I'm like, you think you know, but you have no idea.
Exactly.
It's like you haven't even scratched the surface, baby. You haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much in reserve. There's so much in reserve within us.
It's not like
nothing to do with you. It's just us.
We can't we can't express everything that's going on. Like that would take years, and it's pointless. Like they're still not going to understand after we explain everything. You know what I mean? But there's really only one person that I truly feel very close to, and that would be Matt, my boyfriend. And I've been with him for 6 years now. So I think, Susan, what you said is spot on. I think the longer that you are in a very close relationship with a Scorpio rising, the more closer you get.
You'll get a little onion.
Yeah. and it's a treat, I think, to really be able to really see the real person, and feeling okay to be vulnerable with someone. I don't do that with everyone, just one person. Yes. And that's enough. That's plenty, Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, of course, it's difficult for Scorpio risings to be vulnerable, especially young ones and older ones like me. It's like I can't bear all to you. Did you guys do this as a kid? I mean, I think I look back on my childhood, and I say all young Scorpio risings. They're weird, but we don't even know it. Like, we're so comfortable in our own little weird world.
Yes.
That we don't really realize that we're a little off. Because my niece, she has a Scorpio rising, and I'm just studying her. I'm like, you're so weird, but you don't even know it. But she's comfortable. She's a Taurus too. She has a Taurus sun. And it's you don't even know you're weird, but you're that's another thing that I think puts people off about Scorpio risings. We're comfortable being ourselves. We're comfortable being our little abnormal selves. But sometimes we don't see it. Everyone else is a weird person. It's what's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
That is so true.
Yeah. So that ends my question. And any other advice for young Scorpio risings or parents?
Just foster trust, be honest, love, respect, and
another thing I thought of: do not probe into their business constantly. Do not overly probe them. Do not overly ask questions, lots of questions. Forget that. That would not work.
The security gate will go up so fast. As a kid, oh my god. I guess because I was a really early degree Scorpio rising, You could ask me what I had for breakfast, and I would get so paranoid. I'm like, why do you want to know? I was so paranoid. It was just bad. Like, people would ask me, do you talk? I'm like, yeah, I talk, but I don't want you asking me any questions. I, like, being a Leo, I think I perfected the art of turning the conversation back around to you.
Yeah.
I think all Scorpios can do that.
Yeah.
Like, when you're starting to
absolutely.
get too much, we'll, like, make a joke and then turn it back around on you.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is so true.
and we do it in such a way where they don't even realize that that's what's happening. They just answer the question and are like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah." And mission accomplished on our end.
Yeah. Didn't even see it coming.
This is awesome. I love you guys. I love Scorpio risings.
It is. It's,
Yay.
Dude, you'd have to have it to actually understand it and get the humor.
Yeah. I hope people that aren't Scorpio risings get something out of this.
Yeah, me too.
I think they will.
They will if they are interested or have a close friend or someone in their family that they're trying to understand that Scorpio rising. They will be like sucking up the information right now.
Mm-hmm.
I say the worst thing you can do to a young Scorpio rising is just keep probing them for questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can't turn it back around, I'd freak out. Yeah, but just leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ask me this simple question.
I'd react the same.
It was just so weird. All right, now for a part that I'm really excited for. Susan is going to basically talk about the different decans of Scorpio risings, which I actually never thought of. And when she told me it, I was just really excited. So, Susan, you now have the stage.
Okay, cool. All right. And also, I just have to say, my partner and son are due back. That's around 12ish. So I don't know how much longer is this going to go. Do you know? Sorry.
Well, soon as you wrap up, we can say our goodbyes and head back to being a hermit.
Right. Yes.
Sounds perfect. All right, cool. So I'll start with obviously the obvious thing, which is the first decan. So 0 to 10 degrees Scorpio, which is the Scorpio Pluto. That's you, Kajaya.
It is.
Okay, so I'll just put together my own little catchphrase thingy, which I felt sort of maybe wrapped it up. I mean, it's just ideas. It's just my idea. I put the deep powerhouse, the enigmatic fighter, and also the emotional vault.
That's why I'm so paranoid. I don't want anyone to get close to me.
It's the vault.
Yes.
That's what you said, because you said the hardest part is to express your emotions.
Right. It's like, oh man, I know if I express it, it's going to be a fucking mess all over the place. It's like, you don't want to see this. You really don't want to see this.
Yeah. And so what I've put some notes with that. I just said, did a bit of research and sort of extrapolated on my own astrology studies. So this person has very, very deep reserves of determination and power of persistence, more so than the other decans. So you can deal with the hardest situations in life for longer periods than even though, you know, all Scorpio risings are very tough and they can cope with a lot of difficulty, but your decan copes with the most difficulty, can cope with it. So you can handle the hardest of what life throws at you.
Well, I 3 times a year.
They also have the darkest looks of the Scorpio decan. So the darkest eyes, general appearance is the darkest. There you go.
I'm quite dark-skinned. I will say that.
You're the darkest of us all here, so.
Like, for example, like even like my background, my parents are Italian, so even someone from European background that is a first decan Scorpio will have the darker skin, you know, the more olive complexion. Yeah. They're very emotionally self-contained, hence the vault comment, and they will not open up emotionally or personally unless they either sense or know that the other person is trustworthy. The sex drive and the libido is extremely high on this decan, and they also more easily can cut people out of their lives and just move on. More so than especially the Cancerian decan, which is mine and Caroline's. We tend to maybe, I don't know, Caroline, you've got Sun in the 8th house, it might change it, but we tend to sort of, when people are close to us in our like little clan, we find it harder to let go of them. So that was just, so that's what I had for the first decan. Kajai, did you want to say anything since that's your one?
It's all true, and it doesn't help that I have Mars in my 8th house, So,
Oh, meow.
so I won't go any further into that.
That's funny. All right, so the next one is the Scorpio Pisces one, Pisces Neptune, the second decan, so that's 10 to 20 degrees. I've called this one, don't take offense, but the low, not you guys, but anyone watching, the lower energy of this decan is described as the addict or the tortured soul. Not necessarily drug addict, but they could be. It could be addicted to relationships, addicted to people, addicted to food, anything. Addicted to being, escaping in some way. The tortured soul, the creative transformer on the higher level of that expression. So through their creativity, they can transform people through music, art, that sort of thing. And with their appearance, these guys, their appearance is a lot softer. So they have like a diffused kind of appearance because the watery Neptunian quality comes in. And an interesting aspect to this is they're able to cloak themselves very, very well. They can go unseen if they need to. So if they want to shapeshift or hide themselves, they can, through their own intention, do that. They have a very high level of empathy. They're ultra sensitive, these guys with the Neptune second decan. The pitfalls are addictions, codependency, as I said before, but on the higher level, they may be able to heal a lot of people through creative things, through artistic things, or through relationships. They might be able to heal others. And as they have such a deep level of compassion and such a deep artistic sensibility, they can also sacrifice themselves for another person or a cause. So, in the extreme sense, when it's sacrifice, you think, well, death, but not necessarily. They may put their life on hold for a purpose that they think is worthwhile. And then, I don't know, did you want to say anything about that? Does anyone want to comment?
Well, my niece, I believe hers is like 14 degrees Scorpio rising, so she would fall into this. And then that Pisces influence would definitely explain why she's a bit weird. But she does have, I thought it was because she was a Taurus. She does have a softer look to her. Not so intense. Definitely has a softer look to her.
And she probably has some creative ability, does she, Kajaya? Do you see that yet?
No, when I say she's weird, she's so weird.
How old is she?
She's like 3 or 4. And
she's pretty young.
I'll show you guys a picture of her. She's gorgeous. She's
oh my god. Beautiful. I want to meet
her. But like, I can definitely see when you say they can like hide away, because she'll go off into her own little world and just you'd forget she was in the house. Wow. But I'll send you guys a picture of her. She's gorgeous. Now to your guy, now to y'all's Decan.
Can I just add, sorry, with the Neptune, I forgot one thing. Psychically very, very, very sensitive to the energies around, like the subtle vibrations around them. So they might pick up on, as a young child, like with your niece, she might pick up on other entities or spiritual beings and things like that. She might see spiritual things at a young age. So that's another possibility with that Neptunian energy with it. Okay, so now to the last one, which is ours, Caroline. And so it's 20 to 30 degrees. I called this one, and it's not going to be what everyone agrees with. It's just an idea. The suffering nurturer / the spiritual counselor on the higher level. So once you've gained the wisdom, you can counsel people really well with your spiritual, your experience of life. And there's something also with the Cancerian quality that they're very protective of people close to them, and they see, like, environment is so important to us. With the Cancer, we're very protective of our homes, and we're protective of who we allow into our home. That is a big one. We will not let anyone into our home. They have to be someone that, if it is a stranger that has to come in, like, we're very aware of that, and we're just selective. We're very selective. Yeah. Also, they're very self-protective, so very careful who they let into their personal world and into their emotional world, and very loyal to family and close people to them. Self-defensive, so people might get annoyed with us for being very defensive, and I know I've been accused of that a lot.
Me too.
Deep need to connect with others on a really deep soul level, a true level, an honest level. We'll suffer for a long time on behalf of others. So if there's someone in our life that we are working on, like trying to help them in some way, someone close in our family or that has issues, we'll work with them and we'll discuss issues with them and talk to them at length, like more than anyone else maybe in the family is willing to. And just one of the key things is the sensitivity to the immediate environment. So whether that's your work environment, your home, or even some people with this are very patriotic and protective of their country as well in some way, and issues to do with what's happening in their country really affect them deeply, so there's that as well. And what else is the last thing I was going to say? Help others transform through counselling, offering wise counsel, advice, and nurturing. And very protective of our children.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with all of that stuff. I am a Cancer sun, too, so maybe I just resonate with it, especially. But absolutely true, yes, especially the counselor, therapist kind of thing. We touched on that earlier in the video, too, so spot on. Very nice work, Susan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sweet.
So is that all right?
I've always been people. Is that it?
I mean, you have something else you want to add?
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, people have always sort of said to me about the counsellor thing, like, I don't know, people have always come to me, like you were saying. It's just funny, like, even strangers come to me or come to us just to open up, to tell us things, yeah.
And we always seem to know just what to say.
Yes. They find some comfort in the discussion, that we're willing to go there. To some extent, we're willing to listen to that dark experience that they had where no one else would, something like that.
Right. I think that's what people like about Scorpio risings, because we are willing to listen. Because I think we know that sometimes you just want to talk to someone, even though we don't. We decide to deal with our own problems on our own.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you want to come to me and spill your guts, please feel free. But I'll deal with my own problems.
Absolutely. Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So that's it. From Scorpio risings to the world.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed this conversation. This is like the first time I've ever really had a great conversation with Scorpio risings.
Well, yeah, it's hard to know, if someone's a Scorpio rising unless you actually are able to look up their chart. So maybe
no idea about astrology because
exactly, and then you're like, "What's your exact birth time?"
I need to know the exact time.
Yes. This was just a great idea. I think that this is really going to help a lot of other Scorpio risings. So.
Yes.
Well, thank you for helping me. Thank you for adding to the video. I don't think it would have been as interesting if I would have did it on my own. I wouldn't have been able to pull it off, and I thought it would be great to have other Scorpio risings here.
Woo-hoo!
Yes.
Okay.
High five to us.
High five, yeah.
Thank you, guys. It was so nice to meet you.
Yes, it was lovely to meet you, Susan Kujaya. Love you guys, and let's stay in touch.
All right, bye.
Cool.
Have a great night. Bye.
Thanks, Caroline. Bye.